Hey everyone, it's Ventus with another episode of League of Legends Minis. Today's episode will focus on a cool interaction with Diana's Crescent Strike and Lunar Rush, her Q ability and her ultimate. Let's call it something fancy. Let's call it something like the Crescent Rush. Just combine the two. So her ultimate, Lunar Rush, the cooldown gets reset when used on enemies marked with Moonlight by Crescent Strike. This means that you can chain a huge burst of damage together with QRR in basically an instant. The issue is sometimes your target may walk out of Lunar Rush's range after seeing Crescent Strike's projectile. They could react to it very quickly. So in the end, even if the projectile hits, you won't be able to use Lunar Rush, and that'll potentially result in you losing out on a lot of damage or wasting flash to force follow-up. A way to remedy this is by casting both Crescent Strike and Lunar Rush at the same time, the Crescent Rush, as we just called it. The Moonlight debuff seems to apply before the damage portion of Crescent Strike, so this means that as long as the projectile lands, it will instantly apply Moonlight and allow Lunar Rush to be reset by it. But I did notice something strange with this interaction. If you're around 500 to 600 range away from the target, and you instantly cast QR, well, the reset may not occur. This is possibly due to Lunar Rush's projectile speed being slightly faster than Crescent Strike's, so the Lunar Rush will apply its damage before Crescent Strike's wave reaches and applies the Moonlight debuff. So be careful using the Crescent Rush at lower ranges. As I mentioned earlier, this trick is extremely important for catching up and chaining a huge burst of damage. The surprise factor of the damage and the reset can catch many players off guard, since they may be anticipating a delay between the Q and the R abilities. Once you reach your target and Lunar Rush resets, then the fight becomes even more interesting. Diana has a lot of options at this point. You can instantly burst again, stay in the fight, or wait several seconds for Crescent Strike's cooldown to come back up, and potentially do another Crescent Rush. She can go in and out of the fight if she can find a target to rush to, and, well, she becomes that kind of mobile fighter-assassin hybrid. Very dangerous combination. So this mechanic, it may take some time to get used to. It requires you to be confident with your skill shots, but in the end it's relatively easy to pull off compared to a lot of other more complex mechanics. Once you get the hang of it, it becomes an important core element to Diana's gameplay. Anyway, that's it for today. As always, thanks for watching and see you next time.